Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to a brand new edition of Did You See That? But welcome back to a brand new entry into the Michael J. Fox filmography. Now today we're actually talking about one of the entries that Michael J. Fox signed a free picture deal with, and this one is Life with Mikey. I'm joined for the first time ever on a collaboration by a special guest. Without any further ado, let me introduce my guest for today's collaboration.
Guys, I am super excited to be here collaborating with Mike for the very first time. Let me go ahead and officially introduce myself. My name is Stephanie. I have a YouTube channel called I'll Buy the Popcorn. I was assigned Life with Mikey. This is a movie that I have actually never seen before, nor have I actually ever heard of before, to be honest with you.
That's right, I've got the awesome Stephanie from I'll Buy the Popcorn. It's awesome to get these people that I've been collaborating with who maybe have or haven't seen these movies before and get to experience more of Michael J. Fox's filmography, because of course he's known for Back to the Future and Teen Wolf. So we're going to hear from Stephanie very shortly and her overall thoughts. But what can I honestly say about Life with Mikey? Well, it's directed by James Lapine, and he's actually only ever been known for a screenplay of a movie called Into the Woods in around 2014 starring Anna Kendrick. And the plot of the movie is former child star Michael Chapman, or Mikey, meets a young performer who changes his life but also his talent agency. And the movie stars Christina, Vidal, Cyndi, Lauper and Michael J. Fox. So this movie actually came out in 1993. Well, I've seen it twice in my entire lifetime. First ever watched this movie, it wasn't really when I was reviewing movies at all, and I was a lot younger. However, what I can say is overall this movie I found to be charming. By all means, it's not like an Oscar-winning movie, but I found it to be kind of like just a cute, innocent, charming movie overall that I actually enjoyed. So the performance by Michael J. Fox in this as Michael Chapman, I believe that this was kind of like the start of Michael J. Fox's kind of like edgier movie tones, where he kind of moved into the latter half of his filming career, which is really a sight to behold because he was always known for kind of like comedy and stuff. And yes, by all means, don't get me wrong, he certainly has comedy elements in this movie, but I felt like he showcased more of like kind of like reality grounded base character, where Michael Chapman was a former child star, and of course now he runs a talent agency that aren't exactly rich. They're always kind of living check by check and relying on this main other kid star to kind of reel in the money for the talent agency. But then he's also thinking about, well, actually, is this really for me? So he is kind of playing a really difficult situation in this, where he wants his talent agency to succeed, but at the same time, he's kind of trying to latch onto that childhood fame. But Cyndi Lauper, I believe, gave a great performance in terms of, she was just kind of like a likeable, kind of charming, kind of gullible character as Geena, but at the same time she wasn't afraid to kind of tell Michael J. Fox's character Michael Chapman how it is at certain points in this movie. But I've actually got to say the standout, which of course she is on the cover of the DVD art, which by the way you can actually watch this movie on Disney Plus for free, is Christina Vidal. Now Christina Vidal plays Angie, who is this young performer that is scouted by Michael Chapman to join Chapman and Chapman agency, and she is really hilarious in this movie. She definitely provides the light-hearted stuff, but at the same time she is a sophisticated kid that knows exactly what she's doing. She knows when she's kind of getting mucked around, and she doesn't kind of stand for that at all. She tells it as it is, and she tells Michael Chapman's character multiple times, look, this is where you're messing up in your life, don't bring that on me, fix your own kind of problems. And I actually thought that was a really intriguing take into this movie. Now I do have negatives with Life with Mikey, but before I do, let's hear from Stephanie from I'll Buy the Popcorn on her thoughts on Life with Mikey.
So let's jump right into the cast. Of course, we have Michael J. Fox, who plays Mike, and he's basically this child star actor who peaked at like 15 years old. He's in his 30s now. He is working with his brother. Well, they own Chapman and Chapman, this not so great child talent agency. He obviously doesn't like what he's doing. He's still trying to live off of his like golden years. We have the brother, Nathan Lane, who plays Ed. He's like the head. He's the main guy at Chapman and Chapman. He's the one that's doing all the work. The supporting actress, Christina Vidal? I don't know, I'm terrible with names, you guys. She plays Angie. She's this very like feisty, pickpocketing, Brooklyn, preteen girl. I don't know, she's like 10, 11 years old. She doesn't take crap from anybody. She pretty much tells you what's on her mind. Cyndi Lauper, who plays Geena, the secretary for Chapman and Chapman. I absolutely adored her, okay? She literally, in my opinion, stole every scene that she was in. You know what? Let me circle real quick back to Christina. Vidal. Well, that's her name for today. But like I said, I really was here for her character, and I don't think I have seen her anywhere else before. I mean, could just be that I just didn't stand out as much as she did here. And it's a shame because she did great. But other than that, I honestly don't have many thoughts about the movie. This is really something that is best just to kind of enjoy while you're watching it. Don't really think too much about it, because even though it's cute, it has its funny moment, it's charming, it has some good acting, overall it's not very memorable. It's really not. I saw the movie a few days ago, and then when I was gonna sit down and film, I'm just, what do we say? Because it's not really there. It didn't really stick with me. So unless you're like a big Michael J. Fox fan, I think this is definitely a movie you can pass on. I mean, I don't regret watching it. My favorite scene is probably when Michael and Angie are having breakfast. They're kind of having like the little standoff or whatever, and Michael serves himself a nice little bowl of cereal with some like chunky milk. Ugh. It's disgusting, I know, but he went for it. He did it. I guess if I do have to like critique it, I guess I should at least do that, right? The script is not the best. It's really not, and we're gonna leave it there. We're just all I'm gonna say. It's Geena Films, a nice little family movie. Hasn't quite aged as well. Not memorable. If you haven't seen it, it doesn't call your attention, you're honestly not missing out on anything, in my own personal opinion, of course. But these are just my very quick thoughts on Life with Mikey. I wish I did have more for you guys, but honestly, I don't have much for you here today. I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are about Life with Mikey. Have you even heard about this movie? Am I literally living under a rock? Again, I wouldn't be surprised about it. Once again, Mike, thank you so much for having me on here. I was very excited when you reached out to ask me to collab. Again, apologies for not having more for you. I promise next time, if you have me back, I will have more for you on that one. Once again, guys, my name is Stephanie. You can catch me at Albert's Popcorn, where I do movie reviews, monthly tier lists, and some random rankings from time to time. Alright, I'll send you back off to your host. Bye.
So I have to say, it's really awesome to hear Stephanie's take on this movie. I'm actually really glad that it was a first time for you, Stephanie. Not a lot of people have seen Michael J. Fox's filmography in general, and I definitely feel like some of the movies are a big miss in terms of you need to watch those movies. However, I have got to say this as well with Stephanie. I mostly agree with her opinions because, as she said, it is kind of like a cute, charming movie. She didn't regret watching it and stuff, and I certainly didn't regret watching it either. It's not a movie where I would say it's got a high rewatchability factor. The only thing that I would kind of disagree with Stephanie with, by the way, on her thoughts, because I actually loved her breakdown and how she kind of culminated this first time viewing into actually bringing this experience of, okay, well, this is a Michael J. Fox movie, and actually for Michael J. Fox fans, they've actually checked this out. I definitely agree with that point because I've actually read Michael J. Fox's autobiography Lucky Man, which is his first ever autobiography that he did, where he pretty much broke down the behind the scenes and everything in his kind of main filmography. And with Life with Mikey, as I mentioned at the beginning of this review, this was part of a free picture deal where Michael J. Fox was diagnosed with Parkinson's at this point, 2 years into his conditions. He stated that he believed he had about 10 years left in his acting career, and he hastily signed a free picture deal, with this one being the first, I believe. It was really intriguing to get that side of view into going into this movie as well, because I read up a little bit more on that before checking this one out. So I personally think I found a little bit more enjoyment than unfortunately Stephanie did, but it's also cool to hear and have her on the channel for the first ever time, because I honestly dig her content. And if you haven't checked out Stephanie's channel as of yet, I'll buy the popcorn. The link is down below in the description box. Go give her some love. Tell her that I sent you. She does a lot of awesome movie reviews, ranking reviews, Halloween specials, and honestly all sorts of stuff. And I'd also like to thank her for being part of this collaboration. But with that in mind, in terms of my negatives, it's not a really highly rewatchability, and odd performances in this movie isn't the best. The script as well, as Stephanie said, I have to agree, wasn't exactly the strongest. I feel like James Lapine missed a beat or two when writing this movie, because overall, some parts of it is solid and some of it just isn't, and the parts that isn't kind of falters and lets down the movie. So with all that in mind, my overall score for Life with Mikey is... So yeah, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. But until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.